I'm Irene. I'm going to record my presentation on the project called Making the Call, which located in the Google Codes accounts of the business. Those will be my outline. The first will be, does the practice generate enough cash to cover its current obligation? The second will be, is the practice likely to be able to meet its long-term obligation as they become due? Is the practice increasing its patient accountants and collecting its accounts receivable in timely manner? What is the practice's net worth or equity, and is it improving? Is the practice improving its profitability on a sustainable basis? How might the hospital's acquisition of Dr. Fido's practice impact the future financial performance of the practice itself? All factors considered, do you think it is a good idea for the hospital to acquire the practice? Why or why not? Also, at the end, we're going to discuss about the Don's site visit. So the question is, does the practice going to cover its current obligation? So the answer is yes. The practice will generate enough cash to cover its current obligation. As a matter of fact, in 2014 income statement, Dr. Fido practice generate enough cash to cover its current obligation based on the calculation got on quick or asset test ratio, which shows that the practice done by hospital will be able to cover its current obligation by 1.08 times. Also, based on the calculation that on current ratio, which is lower than it was in 2013, where in 2014 it came 1.42 times, which means that practice could cover the expenses. Another fact is that when the current ratio is above 1, it shows that the company or organization is going to cover its practice, it can cover its current obligation. So is the practice likely to be able to meet its long-term obligation as they become due? The answer is yes. From the calculation of solvency ratio, we can conclude that the practice will not meet long-term obligation because it is 0.025 times in 2014. Therefore, the debit to total asset ratio in 2014 and 2013 showed the organization is at very risk position to be able to pay their long-term obligation. Also, time interest and in 2014 is better than it was in 2013, but not only based on one ratio to conclude that this is going to meet its long-term obligation. The question here is that, is the practice increasing its patient accountants and collecting its accounts receivable in timely manner? You can say no. The practice does not increase its patient accountants and collection its accounts receivable in timely manner. So as clearly shown in the income statement, there are decrease in patient revenue in 2014 from 2013, which means that the reduction of patients. This could mean that a lot of money were collected from patients. So based on the calculation, the assets management in 2014 showed that the trend is worse than it was in 2013. Hence, in 2013, the average was 61 days to collect and of average collection period, where in 2013 the average collection was 9.3 days. From this information, you can conclude that the practice is not collecting its accounts receivable in timely manner. Also, you can base on another calculation we did for inventory turnover. The inventory turnover is moving worse because it's increasing, where in 2013 was 13.9 days times in 2014 it became 10.29 times. This means inventory is not well managed by comparing to the cost of goods sold within average inventory for period. Also, we can base on the calculation of total asset turnover, which is going worse because it's reduced from in from 2013 to 2014, where in 2013 was 1.97 times, to where in 2013 it became 1.64 times. This implies the company's ability to generate sales from its asset by comparing net sales with average total asset is very low. Therefore, the fixed asset turnover has improved in 2014 because it shifted from 5.24 times in 2013 to 6.4 times in 2014, which implies that how assets are used to produce revenues. So since this fixed asset turnover ratio is only the thing that is going well in the company, cannot base that by conclude that the the practice of the hospital is going to collect its account receivable in timely manner, since most of the ratio show that it's going worse. What is the practice the net worth or equity, and it's improving? Is the practice improving its profitability on a sustainable basis? The answer is yes. The practice is improving its profitability on sustainable basis. So the balance sheet shows the practice had a net worth of one 189,451 US dollars in 2014. This is increase of 18,891 US dollar over 2013 net worth. During Don's visit, he did note that most of the non-operating gain on 2014 income statement was generated from one-time insurance distribution by the FDIC from a third bank that Dr. Fidos was banking with. The practice increased its profitability by over 300% from 2013 to 2014. This is an outstanding and is very good sign of growth and the potential for the practice to continue in this direction. Therefore, by considering the above ratio, we can conclude that the organization is making profit, because in 2013 was a negative with negative 6.69% of profit margin on revenue, and in 2014 had 0.16%. Additionally, the return on total assets was negative in 2013 with ratio of negative 13.22%, and in 2014 is 0.27%. So from this ratio, consider that 2014 they made a great profit. So the ratio of the return equity is very great because it increased from 2013 then 2014 to 2014, which implies that the organization's profitability is improving on a sustainable basis. At the time of such visits, hospital regional operating gain on 2014 income statement related to one-time insurance distribution by FDIC after it took control of Fed Commercial Bank, while Dr. Fidos practice used to maintain a checking. How might the hospital's acquisition of Dr. Fido practice impact the future financial performance of the practice itself? Therefore, when hospital will receive Dr. Fido's practice should receive a salary based on her productivity. This will encourage her to see more patients or possibly get partner to increase the gross patient service revenue, which will increase also the revenue of the hospital as well. Also, the practice will be getting reimbursement from different insurance companies such as Medicare, so this will increase the gross patient service revenue. Additionally, the partnership with Dr. Fido will improve hospital reputation because they'll be having more services people likely to get. Since Dr. Fidos will increase, they will bring her practice, the hospital's reputation will increase because many people believe in the hospital that have many practices, many services, and can be able to accommodate many patients. One factor has considered, do you think it is good idea for a hospital to acquire the practice, why or why not? So it will be a great idea to acquire Dr. Fido's practice in this hospital because as the office manager confided that Dr. Fido's volunteer took a large pay cut in 2014 because she wanted to improve the practice productivity in anticipation of sales to Memorial Hospital or another buyer. This will be a great idea since he will be committed to increase the to boost the reputation of the hospital as she's really willing to work with this hospital. Also, her practice space can easily accommodate now another physician, especially if she terminates stabilities with the psychology who can treat them there. This will be another opportunity for the hospital because they'll be receiving another loan to use. Here I want to explain the visit site done by Dom. In fact, Dr. Fido seemed extremely intrigued by the new medical diagnostic device she bought from a colleague who is returning to Bermuda. It predicts if a patient is at risk for chronic obesity simply by scanning his or her forehead and has the potential to revolutionize the worldwide market for medical diagnostics into the habits and lifestyles. Dr. Fido has been spending an increasing percentage of her day developing this experimental device in anticipation of obtaining a patent and commercializing it someday. This is a good. This is a fact that can be based on partnering with Dr. Fido's because this showed that he is very committed in in bringing something new which can help hospital to attract many patients to come for it. Also, another fact is that the most of leverage on Ronald Pareton gain on 2014 income statement led to one-time insurance distribution by FDIC after it took control of Fed Commercial Bank, where Dr. Fido practice used to maintain its checking out. Also, another fact is that the office manager confided that Dr. Fido voluntarily took a large pay cut in 2014 even because she wanted to improve the practice profitability in anticipation of sale to Memorial or another buyer. So this is another fact that shows that Dr. Fido is very willing to partner with Memorial Hospital, which is a good idea because Dr. Fido she's going to bring all her patients to the hospital. Also, Dr. Fido practice is responsible for more than 250 inpatient admission and 1,100 outpatient diagnostic in surgical procedures per year at Stronger Memorial Hospital. Although Dr. Fido is very loyal to Stronger Memorial Hospital because she was born there and her father was once chief of surgeon, she is committed to selling her practice and will offer in community general an aggressive for-profit competitor if Stronger Memorial does not make a reasonable offer. So this is another fact that shows that it's a good idea to partner with Dr. Fido to acquire Dr. Fido's practice because the amount of patient she received yearly can be a good idea for the hospital because it's going to increase its profit and the number of its boost its reputation. This to be among the hospital that receive many patients in the community. Also, since the Dr. Fido wants to work in this hospital as part of an inheritance that took from his father, should be using her lot of energy to produce a good job at this hospital, which hospital can take Dr. Fido as a good asset to work there. Also, local medical office space is at premium and Dr. Fido office is considered to be in a prime location in growing community. adjacent to Stronger Memorial Hospital. Her practice space can easily accommodate another physician, especially if she terminates the sublease with the psychologist who can't rent them. So this is another chance for the hospital, because it's going to get another space, can be used by another doctor to receive patient. This will increase the number of patients, and it will increase the customer satisfaction, since they will be having many doctors who are receiving them. Thank you.